The Yankees on the brink. They were down 5. They come back and win it. And Aaron Judge goes 3 for 4, game-tying home run, and 4 runs batted in. So far, he's 7 for 11 in the series. The home run that he hit, I won't say it's impossible, but it's nearly impossible to turn on that pitch that is so inside. It's out of the strike zone. And I like that you had people who were second-guessing, like, why would you pitch to him? They didn't. He was down 0-2. They threw a great pitch inside that most mortals will strike out on, and he turned on a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. That was the only other person I've ever seen that was Barry Bonds, where it's inside, so inside, but he turned on it and kept it fair and hit a home run. Magical. It's going to be so – I know the votes are already in, but I don't think there's a wrong choice in MVP. And Cal Raleigh hit a home run last night, his 61st on the year. And I think this is going to be one of those really, really close votes. And it'd be a shame. Yeah, I don't know if Cal Raleigh ever gets this chance again. Aaron Judge feels like we'll get this chance again. But this is one of those, almost like Mike Greenwell. Do you remember him with the Red Sox? And he lost out, I think, to Jose Canseco. And then all the steroid stuff came out. And Mike Greenwell was a really good player, but he was never going to get a chance again. It's a magical season for the team as well. And I had a baseball analyst who said, how's baseball and baseball fans going to react if you have the Blue Jays and the Mariners playing? Or, that are we going to be like, oh, what are we doing with our small market teams here? And I'm like, I don't know why we always come to this conclusion, like, oh, who's going to watch? Like, I don't care. You're getting to see some good baseball. You're getting to see some big stars. And if it's Seattle, it's a great story. Toronto's a great story as well. I know we love the big markets, but Mariners are up 2-1 on Detroit. And, the Yankees down 2-1. You got the Dodgers, who might be able to sweep the Phillies coming up later on tonight. And then the Brewers and the Cubs. Kind of an oh-by-the-way series, but the Brewers favored in that series. Yes, Marvin?
That always kind of boggles me when people talk about the small markets. Isn't it about big-time stars? Because you have Cal Raleigh on one side, and if it's the Blue Jays, you have George Springer and Vlad Guerrero Jr. Isn't that what you want? You want big stars so people can see them? Instead of just relying just on Dodgers and Yankees?
We don't do that in the NFL. Like, Green Bay's the smallest market. If Green Bay goes to the Super Bowl, nobody's going to complain. They're just not. And I think we get caught up in, who's going to watch? Baseball struck gold last year with the Yankees and Dodgers, even though it wasn't a competitive World Series. You had the big markets, the big teams. But all I want to see is great. We get to March Madness. I don't know. Do you really care if Butler goes to a championship game or George Mason goes to the Final Four? I think if you get good matchups, that's all we're asking for. And a lot of times you can even have the big markets like we did last year. And L.A. won 4 out of the 5 games. Yeah, Paulie.
But I think the issue is, and I don't care who's in the World Series, I'm going to watch. But when you have a World Series where it's like the Diamondbacks, it's almost like work for the casual fan. You have to learn the players. You have to learn the manager. When you have Yankees versus the Dodgers in the World Series, you know the stars already, and you know the history of these franchises. It's like going into a movie where you know the entire cast, as opposed to like an independent film. It's more work when there's a team like Toronto where you just know a few players.
Yeah, but if I go back to Arizona when they had Schilling and Randy Johnson, Luis Gonzalez and Mark Grace, we knew that team. We knew those stars. I think sometimes you'll get a smaller market or a less covered team. Rangers, 2 years ago, and people probably didn't know much about the Rangers. But I don't get caught up in, the ratings. The Blue Jays and Mariners both came into the American League in 1977 as expansion teams, and here they are on the cusp of moving on to the championship series. By the way, we want to be fair to Dave Sims, the Yankee play-by-play voice. He was with us yesterday, and Fritzy, of course, had issues with Dave and his lack of enthusiasm on a Vlad Guerrero grand slam. Here is Dave Sims on the Aaron Judge home run last night.
Here's the pitch. High fly ball, deep left field. Down the left field line, it is off the fair pole. Hey now, 3-run homer, Aaron Judge. This game is tied at 6-6.
Did you want him to sound like that for Vlad Guerrero?
That's what the fans wanted to hear. That was a
Okay.
huge moment for the Yankees.
Okay, but you wanted enthusiasm for Vlad Guerrero, the visiting
I
team.
would understand if he didn't have quite that much enthusiasm
Okay.
for the other team. I could appreciate that for the Yankee listeners.
Nice call. That was tough to see, though. It's down the line, and that's where Judge isn't even leaving the batter's box. He's like, well, it's either a home run or it's foul, so I don't have to worry about I got to hustle into second base with a stand-up double. But, all right, Seton, back to our regularly scheduled programming, the poll question.
Yeah, the other poll question is we haven't had one of these in a while from Paul. A bathroom can wait. Most BCW in sports right now, or just in baseball maybe. Judge, Ohtani, Raleigh, other.
So bathroom can wait when they're at the plate.
Yeah, they're at the plate, and you really got to go to the bathroom. But you're like, you know what? I'm going to wait until after this at-bat.
Well, Judge, definitely. Judge, I don't know if Cal Raleigh has entered that picture. Maybe it's a temporary bathroom can wait for him, but Aaron Judge, definitely. I think just seeing him at the plate, somebody that big. And I don't know who we had on. This is years ago, and Paulie was bringing this up, that we were talking about tall guys who have long swings. And, you're not going to be able to get around on that fastball. That's big looping swing. But Aaron Judge has been so good at being selective. And he doesn't, there's pitches that he used to go for. Now he knows exactly what the strike zone is. And that is a credit to him. Because, yes, as you get older, your swing is going to slow down. But you have to be able to somehow compromise what you're going to do at the plate. And I thought that you can't help the pitcher by widening your strike zone. And that's what I think he did earlier in his career. Yeah, Paulie.
Yeah, if you look at Aaron Judge, after the age of 30, every year his strikeouts are going down and his walks are going up. His eye is getting better. His stats after age 30 are better than his stats before age 30.
Yeah. It's impressive, though, when he comes to the plate. And he's played a great series here. This is what we wanted. This is what you want out of your MVP candidates.